Okay, this is my fifth video for social welfare. It's the economic and political empowerment. Um, some examples of grassroots movements that um, you know made significant political changes in the past. I mean, there are so many. Even in recent times, obviously women's rights. But even before that, going back to the Civil War times, um, and the abolition of slavery, and but moving forward into like the early 20s, there were there was the women's rights movements, women getting the right to vote, and then civil rights in the 60s, late 50s, 60s, early 70s. Big changes were made politically, and all of that started with grassroots campaigns and local communities, um, with local community leaders and social workers, and that continued on and to include today, like gay rights, um, just in general, rights for veterans. Elderly people, seniors, different. There are so many different campaigns and changes politically that happen as a result of grassroots movements and communities, or one within a specific institution or within a specific um, vulnerable population that came into being. One specifically, um, as far as gay rights is concerned, more specifically than that, AIDS. When AIDS first came onto the national stage in the early 80s, a lot of things were thought, a lot of misconceptions existed with people who have AIDS, how people get AIDS, how you can contract AIDS, and a lot of stereotypes existed, a lot of scapegoats existed, and primarily it was gay people. The gay community were the scapegoats for this. A lot of people in the regular population just went with these rumors and things that they had heard. That this was a result of gay people, and they were bad, and because of that, they were getting this punishment, and the punishment was AIDS. And as crazy as that sounds today, this is what people were dealing with back then, and it's only because of grassroots movements and advocacy and activism on the part of people in the community and the gay community and social workers working with people who are seeking treatment, um, you know, eh, whether whatever kind of treatment it was, that started to change the public opinion slowly but surely over the course of so many years, that AIDS is not something that you should be ashamed of. And it got to the point where people were marching in the streets of Washington, you know, to bring people's attention to the fact that uh, the misconceptions and the stereotypes that existed aren't facts, and that is like one of the major things. I read an article just now, and I was just looking for examples of social work activism and grassroots campaigns and things like that, and a social worker wrote about their first exposure to that type of thing being working with seniors in a specific community, and advocating for senior rights, and for homebound, specifically homebound seniors and seniors with dementia, low income, and what a significant role that played in that local community, and making some serious changes, and some changes in like policy, like a governmental level, locally there, and also like for the lives of the seniors for whom they were advocating, and it all started with one small grassroots campaign on the part of this social worker and a few other people working with homebound seniors, and it turned into something a lot bigger than that and more significant than that, and it made things more equal. And that's what it all comes down to. Is the job of a social worker is to just kind of level the playing field and advocate for people who can't advocate for themselves. And a lot of, and throughout history and even into today, and I'm sure into the future, it's the only way that these things get started is to start them on the grassroots level and move that into being something bigger. But um, it shows me though that that the job of the social worker is to you know take away inequality, find inequality in how it exists and why it exists, and what are the environmental reasons and contextual reasons why it exists, and and work um, for the people to try to make a change and try to make things better for them and make things more even. And the only way that you can do that in a lot of cases is to start from the scratch and move forward. So, anyways, that's all I have.